Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. So good to see everyone tonight. Let's see who we've got in the house tonight. Jeremy Messer will be with us soon. I got to take my glasses off so I can read. Always good to see my friend Patrick Johnson. Knew he would be the first one to leave a comment. Probably the first one in bed tonight as well. Action Power Wash, Adam Byers. How's it going, Adam? Good to see you, buddy. Dead Man's Party Films. Who farted? Well, it is. It's okay. It was me. Self-employed moron. Good to see you tonight. Ricky Balcazar. Oh, wow. Ricky, been a while. It has been a while. Bobby Linden, the man, ordered some cards from me just this week. We'll get those sent out very, very soon. Let's see. Adam Byers, Sleek Siding from Fort Wayne here. Thank you, buddy. Fort Wayne, Indiana. Just a hop, skip, and a jump from the fresh. Yo, yo, yo. Tracker Hank Deer. Gotcha. Arnie Ryder, Tommy Bain. So good to see everyone tonight. Looks like Mr. Jeremy's about to jump on board with us. And when he does, I'm going right over there and I'm getting me a drink because I forgot to get a drink. It's good to see everybody tonight. We're going to have a great night. We're going to be talking all things pressure washing, but we may be bringing on a special guest from the right-hand column over here. Going to see if maybe somebody wants to jump on with us tonight. Good to see Joe Deary, Undwine here in the house. Timmy's with us. Good to see Darren Newsom. Oh, Darren, also known as Smoky Licious. Christina, always nice to see Christina and the hubby with us in the room on this wonderful Wednesday evening. David Crow, we're glad that you're here. Thought for certain that my friend Jeremy Messer, who I know is in the room, he just hasn't joined us on stage yet, but he'll be with us soon and we'll get things kicked off tonight. Hope everyone is doing well. Here we are, October the 16th, 2024. I'm wondering, how's business in your neck of the woods? How are things going for you guys? I know that if Joe Deary's with us, he's still punching out 5 and 6 a day, he and Lauren, and they're getting it done. What about you, Darren? How many are you pumping out? Ricky Balcazar, good to see you, man. How many are you doing? Oh, looky there. Jeremy Man Messer.
That's it.
Okay, you're gonna take over because I got to go right over to the refrigerator and get me a drink.
Yeah, you go for that. What's up, guys? Sorry I'm late. A little technical difficulties. So, yeah. Joe, you say gutter cleaning's about to kick off. How many gutter cleanings do you have on the books to do? I'm curious. I'd like to know that number if you know and if you want to share.
Well, the problem with Joe is that you have to be real specific because he counts the front gutter as one, the back gutter as another, the side gutters as another, and then he calls it, 12 a day when that wasn't necessarily the case. Big K. Grape soda for us tonight.
Oh, I told you that I was me and Mike was joking around this morning, just having fun, and
at 5 o'clock.
At 5 o'clock this morning, it was about 5:15, 5:20, something like that. And I told him I would now be referred to as Bishop Big Ticket.
I forgot about that. I love it, Bishop Big Ticket. There's a story. I had forgotten about that. 5 o'clock this morning, I'm wide awake, knowing that Jeremy was driving, and we began texting, and then we were on the phone about 5:15, 5:20 this morning. I had forgotten about that. Bishop Big Ticket. I like it.
Bishop Big Ticket, baby. Joe says he has 135.
Yeah, but when you
Right.
divide that by 4, being the front gutter, the back gutter, and the side gutters,
Yeah.
you know.
Let me share this with you. I have only done 138 jobs for the year. That is all that I've done, which is fine and dandy with me.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe's about to do that amount in gutter cleaning because Lord knows he's going to pick up some extra.
Oh yeah. We don't
Yes.
have 100. We don't have 135 houses in our area that need. I don't even know why we have gutters. To be honest with you, but good for you, Rick.
I could easily, I don't want to say I could easily do that. I'm not saying I could easily do. There's easily that many houses. I mean, I would be even out to say that 95% of our houses would need that in our area. Need
Yeah.
gutter cleaning.
I understand that.
Over 600 this year. My goodness, Joe. The machine. Joe is the machine. Wow.
Oh, he's something. He's
Joe
something.
did in May what I do all year. The machine.
You had an idea tonight. You want to share it with us?
I did. So I was just thinking, guys. You know, we had Patrick on when we were in Nashville back in August, and we all had a great time, big fun. And I'd love to get Patrick back on at some point. And I don't even know if he's on here tonight. But
He
I
is.
was thinking, oh, Patrick is here. Well,
Mhm.
awesome. I was just thinking that it would be maybe fun, be pretty cool to have some interaction with someone watching. You know, if they had a question or wanted to come on and just kind of talk shop, talk business, and hop on here. Like you tell me you're interested. You know, give me an email and I can shoot you a link. You know, if you've got a question or if you got something that is on your mind with business or whatever, I'd love to do it. I think it'd be very fun.
Yeah,
So
that
I
would be
think
fun.
that would be very fun.
So if
So,
you've got an interest tonight, you'd like to jump on with us and actually be on the podcast with us, let us know. Jeremy will shoot you over an email or a link, and you can hop on with us. We'll interview you, or you can interview us, or maybe you and I will interview Jeremy. Bishop Big Ticket.
that's right. Don't forget
A
it.
lot of-
And let me go ahead and say that this is no pluck at anybody with the name. I was just having sheer fun with Mike, and I know some of our other cohorts on YouTube joke around with what they like to be called, and this was in no part any shade at anybody. This was just fun and dandy because me and Mike were just having a talk about high volume, fair pricing, low volume, high pricing. And I said, well, you can just call me Bishop Big Ticket. And because I'm all about low volume, high price. So it was just some fun thrown around. Free, I mean, we could charge people to come on here and talk to them. I mean,
I think Joe is saying, if I come on, am I going to get paid?
oh, well, that's fair. That's fair.
Well, how about we do that here in a few minutes, Joe? If we don't get any takers on your idea,
You want to come on, Joe? I'll send it to you right now. We'd love to have you on. You know, you're
Joe,
welcome here anytime.
Well, first of all, Joe, put on some clothes before you come on this show. This is a rated G show. What's his name? Don was from Super Blast, called it a rated G program, rated G show, and I was like, yeah, it is. It really is. So, Joe, put on your BJs at the very least before you come on this show, big boy.
I haven't even shared this out in the Facebook group. Shame on me. Let me do that real quick.
Well, while you're doing that, how about you and I here in just a little bit
Yeah.
How about we do a little freestyle battle? Okay. We're going to battle back and forth, little rap battle.
Rap
And
battle.
and I'm going to weigh in on high volume, fair price, and you weigh in on what you call low volume, high price.
Yeah.
And we'll just kind of share it because I love the idea, Jeremy, and everyone in the room here. I love the idea that as business owners in the same industry, there are multiple, really almost unlimited business models. And we can all make the same amount of money. We can all make good money. We can all do quality work and have a multitude of business models. And that's why I say, and you've heard me say this before, I do not throw shade on anyone's business model. That doesn't mean it's for me, but you really can't argue numbers.
Right.
So if someone is doing their part and they're really good at it and they enjoy it and they're making money, you know what's so funny, Jeremy, is that I will throw out a business model. I will share my business model, and people will absolutely slam me like we're in WWE. I mean, they just body slam me. And I'm like, dude, I'm happy. Why are you mad at my business model if I'm happy? It almost sounds like you're jealous, but anyhow.
They're probably jealous of your legs, but
I think that goes without saying.
that's fair. That's fair.
So we've got some interest tonight.
Yeah.
We've got some interest. This might be quite entertaining right there, actually. I wouldn't challenge you to do that. It's a rated G program. I can't even
say my regular name 10 times.
It's a rated G program. Let's keep it that way. Joe said he would jump on if nobody else wants to.
All right.
Hey,
well, here's a question.
Okay.
Ricky. What's up, Ricky? Glad to have you on, brother. Jumping on, quick question. New unloader worked fine, and all of a sudden, then it went. I left the trigger, the pressure washer bogs down. Water comes out of the. I'm trying to. I don't know. I guess we just lost that, but unloader, but doesn't operate as normal. No leaks in my house. I hope not.
Hose.
I figured that. Let me have fun with it.
Sorry.
So Ricky, you said you got a new unloader. How did you set it? Did you set it correctly? Did you get the right size pressure tip? Did you get a pressure gauge at your gun? How many feet of hose did you have? I got tons of questions to figure out. Did you set it correctly first from the get-go? Is all your plumbing tight, as far as your bypass hose? Do you have, is there a way that it's leaking? What kind of unloader is it? Did you try another unloader? Did it do the same thing? Chances are it could be, depending on how you set it, you could, does it do it when you change the tip to a different tip? Is this with a pressure tip or is this with a soft wash tip? I need a little bit more information. That's me personally. Any input on that?
No, I think that a video would be very nice. That like taking a tour of your unloader would be nice. That would be a good video for Jeremy, showing us how to properly set an unloader, how to do that, putting a gauge at the gun. All of that stuff that you said makes sense.
Yeah, I probably got one from 3 years ago, but who knows on that. Well, let's see here.
Here we go. When you guys close for the season, we plan on closing the 1st of November. It's getting cold up here in New Hampshire. Well, it really depends on what you're doing. If you got commercial work going on, a lot of guys don't close. Period. For me, I close up shop Thanksgiving. So the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's my first day off. Joe, on the other hand, will be cleaning gutters all the way up towards Christmas. So lots to do if people want to do it. Here's one. I'm thinking of offering my pressure washing services to employment agencies and giving them 10% commission for every customer they refer to me. What do you guys think of this business model? I'm not sure what an employment agency is. Are you reading that the way that I'm reading it, Jeremy?
Is that like a temp agency? I'm assuming that's what that means. I'm thinking of offering my pressure washing service to employment agencies and giving them a 10% commission for every customer. No, maybe I'm confused. I could be confused.
How about this, Juan? How about we just forget about the employment agencies and just say I'm thinking about giving a 10% referral to anyone who gives me a job? I think that's a wonderful idea. 10% for every job that someone gives you. There's nothing wrong with that business model. You could jump right on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, so Ricky, let me get back to Ricky. 200 feet of hose, used the pressure gauge at the gun, said 2,800 PSI, checked all the connections. Twist. That's your problem, Ricky. You can't set an unloader with an M5 twist. You have to set it with a 0 degree. You should use a 0 degree because a 0 degree is going to give you the most absolute pressure when you're setting it. It's the highest pressure tip, right? So you need to get whatever machine you're running, you need to get that size machine tip for 0 degree. You know, if you're, and of course, all you need to do is call Russ Johnson or call Trudy or Heath or whoever, wherever you're at, whatever's close to you. Like, hey, I need to get a 0 degree pressure tip to set my unloader for, say you got a 8 at 3,500 gallon, and then they're going to send you the tip you need. And let's see here. What do we have here? Who's this guy?
3, 2, 1. Boom,
hey.
shakalaka.
What's up, guys?
Are you wearing pants?
Yeah, pants. See?
Okay,
pants.
that's
Yeah,
fair.
That's fair.
I had to put them on. I wasn't wearing pants, but it's a family show, so
That's right.
G-rated.
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 Always good to see Joe Deary.
So it's getting cold. What's it look like at your place? I'm like 39 degrees here at my place this evening.
Let's see. I'm expecting 33 in the morning.
Oof,
with a high. Cold. Yeah, but we're going to have a high of tomorrow's high is 59.
Oh, that's beautiful. Good for you.
Yeah.
So 30 it's 46 degrees now, Joe.
Oh.
34 in the morning, 61 high.
Nice. So we'll be snapping in the morning, but we'll be okay in the afternoon. That's good.
We're in the 70s all next week, and unfortunately I'm going to be in Florida. So
yeah,
it's going to be a great week to work, and I won't even be here.
Well, that's too bad.
Yeah, I'm sitting here complaining I'm going to be in Florida. So.
Yeah, I feel bad for you.
Yeah, I've got an apartment complex starting tomorrow and Friday, and it's going to be nice and chipper in the morning.
How many buildings in the complex?
Originally there was 6 when I bid the work, and 1 caught on fire and nearly burnt down, and so then there were 5.
Right.
So I'm only cleaning 5.
Yeah, only cleaning 5. It's going to take you a couple days, 2 days.
You know what? Because they're occupied and there's a lot of traffic coming through. I think that could I do it in one day? Easily. but
That can be really difficult to manage. So, yeah.
yeah. And this is almost spur of the moment. Like just today, he gave me the job and asked if I could get it done by the weekend. I told him I could. And so I'm confident that the residents have not been forewarned. And so
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah.
deal with
You're
them
gonna
there.
have windows open and
Yep.
clothes outside and plants and yeah.
But Joe, it's a job that you would absolutely love because when I was there bidding it, I saw no less than 10 cats on
Oh, I
property. So
love cats. I just had to get up from petting my cat to get on this thing. Actually,
it's
we
a
we,
G,
we
it's a G-rated show, Joe. Please.
Oh yes, right. So on that, I currently have 5 cats that I pet on a regular basis.
Classic.
Yeah, they call me Joey Five Cats.
Joey Falcon. Can you put that on there?
That's going to be one of my opening things on my new YouTube videos. They call me Joey Five Cats.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
that's
that'll
great.
tell you who your true followers are because
Yeah,
I
right.
think you're about to lose
Yeah.
some subscribers.
Unsubscribe.
I think we
Please
could call you.
unsubscribe.
I think we should call you Frogman as well.
Yeah, we like frogs. We're definitely into
Yeah.
frogs.
You
Yeah,
catch
we
more
call,
frogs than anybody I know.
We call Lauren the heron because she will fish all the frogs out of your pond.
Nice. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, since she's a little kid, that girl will catch a frog like you can't even believe. Like she just not afraid, jump right in, waist deep in the water and catch a frog. So we call her the heron.
Here's a great question. This one should be easy to answer. What mesh filter screen do y'all use for your 8 GPM machines?
I'm probably the anomaly here because I filter my water going into my tank and coming out of my tank.
Yeah, me too. I do
Do
the
you?
same
Okay.
thing. Yeah, I have a filter on the inlet side of the tank just to you don't get any big grass or debris in your tank.
Mhm.
And then I have a big canister filter, banjo filter, before I go into the pressure washer. What the mesh is on any of those, I honestly don't know.
Yeah, I think mine's an 80. I think mine's an 80 mesh, or at least my banjo Y
I was
strainer's
gonna
an
say
80
the
mesh.
same thing. Yeah, I thought 80, but I am not sure. But I think it's a really good idea to be filtering in and filtering out.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of pressure washers come with that screen that's like at the end of your hose screen, that fits like right in the barb. Do you know what I mean? Those little conical screens. I'm hoping that's not what they're talking about. I don't think you should have one of those right
Yeah.
before you should, if you do have one of those, you should take it off. So,
I think the operative word here is seams.
yeah, in my own mind, yeah, for sure. It's without a doubt.
Fact.
Oh,
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Now we've got some questions in the room tonight. Joe Deary is with us, impromptu special guest host Joe Deary. So you have 156 gutter jobs coming up. Is that right?
I have 135 gutter jobs currently on the schedule. Most of those are. Jeremy doesn't even want to hear about it. So he just gets upset. I don't. So that's making him sick. He had to get up.
He got mad and left.
I'd turn the fan on.
That's
It's
it.
hot here.
That's it. I'm out. Those are mostly scheduled for November. Gutter cleaning really doesn't kick off until November, and then everyone wants to push the latest in the season that they can in New England because the leaves just hang on. Like the
Sure.
oak leaves don't want to come down. We do also still a lot of gutter cleaning in December, and then when you get into December, we're really, weather gets tough. It's really cold in the morning. There's frost on things. You're knocking ice out of gutters, and it gets frustrating. But we clean gutters right up through Christmas. I try to take like Christmas to New Year that week off, and then in January, depending on what the weather looks like, we're doing gutter cleaning, all year round, really. But I saw somebody saying they shut down in November in New Hampshire. I think that's a good thing. If you can shut down. And then I responded to that quote. I said, no close. And the response was, we don't all have a barn. And I want you all to remember that for the first 4.5 years, I also did not have a barn. As you may remember,
Sure.
I did the truck tarp with the heater inside it. Like, I struggled on the daily keeping my equipment from freezing,
Mhm.
just so that I could work. I'm not saying you should struggle like that, but we work. I'm in Connecticut. I work year round. As long as my equipment's not frozen, I'm finding some work to do. So,
Joe, could you give up gutters if you wanted to? Michael Sterling asked this question.
So I say that every year, like, I always say, like, if I could fire gutter cleaning, I'd like to fire gutter cleaning. And then long about October, November, I start to fall back in love with it again, because it really is a huge lead driver. I say this repeatedly in all of our forums, gutter cleaning is a huge lead driver for the other services you offer, ours being mainly pressure washing, because the other things we do, like Jeremy, lighting your house is right. That's seriously a luxury item. You
Yeah.
got to have you got to have extra money to be like hanging lights. You got to have extra money to be washing your house or washing your roof. But gutter cleaning, you have to clean your gutters. If your house has gutters, leaves go in it. The gutters don't work and it causes damage. So gutter cleaning, you have to do it every single year or twice a year. Where house washing, you can wait every 2 or 3 years, or 4 or 5 or never to do it. So gutter cleaning gets me on the property, and usually my gutter cleaning clients turn into seasonals. And we've talked about seasonal agreements on a lot of different, conversations too, but gutter cleaning really is a big lead driver, I think, for wash business and creating that seasonal book of business that, keeps you going.
So what you're saying, Joe, if I'm hearing you correctly, is that gutter cleaning gets you on the property, and it's not like they're going to have you come clean their gutters, but hire someone else to clean their house. If they're going to have you clean their gutters, then you're going to be their go-to for everything that utilizes a pressure washer in their mind. So that's good. The same with deck cleaning. We don't particularly enjoy deck cleaning, but they're not going to hire us to wash their deck and
Yes.
hire someone else to wash their roof. They're just not going to do that. So Joe's 100% correct. So the question from myself and Jeremy that Elijah has asked is, will you be pushing gutter cleaning? I'll go first. I don't push gutter cleaning. And the reason I don't push gutter cleaning is because the main reason is because I don't like to push something that I can't feel confident that I can pull off. I do not have the luxury of having a helper just to hold a ladder even. And in some of the homes in our area that generally speaking are in the type of subdivisions, if you will, or the geography and topography that require gutter cleanings, they're sometimes three high, that fall off the back.
Yep.
And I don't really like to advertise something that I can't pull off. So I don't advertise it per se, but if someone requests it, then I don't hesitate to do it. Even if I have to find someone to help me do it, I can pull it off.
Yeah, I am not. I'm not pushing it. I will do them if they call me. I'm running the ads for the Christmas lights. To me, like Joe said, it is a luxury thing, and with luxury usually comes a bigger ticket.
Correct. Yes.
So this house behind me, you see, that was about I'll share it. It was about a $2,600 ticket. So I went out there and I did that in just a few hours with me and a guy helping me. And this one little side was a little bit shady where my thumb is, where he had to hold the ladder. But I could have done this whole house myself. Yep. It would have took me a day. And one day, $2,600.
That's a good ticket.
It's a big ticket. I probably would have had to do at least 10 gutter cleanings, maybe 15 to get there.
Yep. And that's tough to do that many in a day. If you're doing 10 gutter cleanings in a day, you're cranking. I do a couple days like that, and it really hurts. You're broken to do that. So yeah.
I don't want to do it. It's like
right.
My whole, and I think that's my whole thing is I don't want to say I want to do the least amount of work for the most amount of money, but in a sense, I kind of do. I don't
No.
care to work. I like working,
Right.
but if gutter cleaning comes my way, I'm going to do it and price it. But it's a lot of like what Mike says. There's nothing to me, and Joe, you've been there. There's nothing much more nerve wracking than being stretched out on a 32-foot ladder
Oh yeah.
to the main top on a high 2-story with a walkout basement, and you're just
Yep.
like you're up
Yep.
on this ladder and the gutter and it's slightly frozen, and you're trying to rake it till you break it up.
Yep. And you're
And
freezing.
you got,
Yep. Yep.
yeah, and then you've got this guy, you got Chad over here watching you.
Yeah.
Can I share a story real quick about Joe? I'll never forget the time Joe and I were on the phone, and he was
Oh no. What is I can't even guess. Here we go.
he was either you were cleaning gutters or you had just cleaned gutters, and you were telling me that it was so high, and you got all the way up there, and you said they need to hire somebody to do this. I was
Right.
like, wait, they did hire somebody to do
Wait,
this.
yeah. If it's not me, who's it gonna be? I don't
Right.
know. So
They should hire a professional to do this.
yeah,
What's wrong with these people?
let me answer Christina's question there. She's asking about gutter guards. Yeah, we do. We clean gutters with gutter guards. There's a couple different processes that I sell there. It depends on, you want to ask them, have they ever been cleaned and how long have they been up there? So, if they're like, oh, we just had them installed and I just need you to get the debris off the top, that's one thing. But if they're like, oh, they've been up there, 10 or more years and no one's ever cleaned them, that all the fine organics still go through the gutter guard. So the gutter is going to be full of mud. So I tell them, what I usually do is I charge $50 per downspout. So that means $50 each time I'm going up the ladder, right? So they send me some pictures of the house. I see there's 6 different downspouts. So and I know I got to go up the ladder 6 different times. I tell them I'm going up on the downspout and I'm going to lift up that 1 or 2 guards at the downspout. And I'm going to remove the booger that's on the drain because that's what's stopping the gutter from flowing. The gutter doesn't have to be clean to flow. It needs to not have a plug on the drain. So
Sure.
usually with the gutter guards, debris is going to flow through there and it's going to, get caught on the drain. And then that's when it starts to back up and create your plug. So the gutter can still be full of mud and moss as long as there's not a booger on the drain, So I say we start there. It's $50 per downspout. You get 6 downspouts, so $300. That's going to be my method. If I get up there and I pick up that guard, I put my phone in the gutter and I look down the guard. I look down the gutter, with my phone, and I can see, using my handheld camera that it's filled with whatever. Then I come down and I tell them, this is what needs to happen next. If you want me to completely clean these, all the guards need to come off. The gutter gets completely flushed out correctly, and then I will not reinstall the guards because it's too much liability for me to do that. They've been up there too long. There's no way I'm going to get them back under the old shingles. They're probably warped. Some of them are going to break, and I'm just not going to put them back on. So if you want to do that, we can do that. And then you're going to have to be on my yearly maintenance cycle where I'm coming out here, once or twice a season. And a lot of people bite on that because guards fail. They buy them, they think they're the end all, and then they realize after a few years that, I'm still having somebody come out take care of these things. I may as well get rid of them, and then we start pricing out the cost of gutter guards. Like I charge $15 a foot to install gutter guards. Jeremy, I think you were talking about that a couple of weeks ago, getting like $8, $9
I'm
a
too
foot.
cheap.
Yeah. Now this is one of those things, like I don't like to do it. So I charge a lot of money to do it. Because if I'm going to do it, I want to be compensated for it. So I did one the other day. I did like a 30-foot section of gutter. I put in the steel Amerimax gutter guards. I got paid $450. I was there for an hour. Cost me like $50 in guards, So it's good money if you charge enough for it. But again, I don't want to do it. So, cleaning gutter guards sucks. Cleaning on gutter guards sucks. You definitely need to be charging more money if you're going to do it.
I use that same analogy that you do, not with the downspouts, but I like that. I might incorporate that. But if they want me to clean their gutters and they have gutter guards, I let them know, like, if I remove these gutter guards, I do not put them back.
Yes, no, they don't put back.
And a lot of times they're like, yeah, let's just go ahead and remove them. and then we want you back out twice a year to do the gutters.
Right, and that's what you want, really, And then I'll price list. I'll put new guards up, but it's $15 a foot. I have my little Lufkin measuring wheel. I measure it out, and I'll be like, it's going to cost you $2,500 for me to put guards around the whole house, and I'm still going to have to come out here every other year or so to blow them off. For
Yep.
$250, you got me out here once a year. The break even on it is usually, the break even on buying gutter guards is usually about 10 years. And when you start giving the client the math like that, they're like, yeah, I'll just have you come out and do it. Just come out and clean the gutters for me instead of doing the guards.
Fair enough. Fair enough. River Valley Power Wash. Have you guys ever targeted new or 3-year-old neighborhoods? Most of these homes would just need soap and water rents. Maybe. All these neighborhoods are high income areas around me.
So I think that's probably really demographic. What are you talking about? Soap. I don't use soap.
Yeah, right.
Right.
I'm honestly, if I'm washing a house, I'm probably using SH. SH can be cheaper than soap sometimes, but yeah, I appreciate what you're saying, the River Valley, about maybe not needing SH. That's what I get that you're saying. After 3 years, there's going to be organic growth, even if you don't see it. So it'd be good for you to use SH, because otherwise, and this is how I explain it to the customer, is that if I'm not using, as I call it on site to the customer, I call it an algicide. If I'm not using an algicide, moisture is the culprit. So while I may be giving it the illusion of clean, the appearance of clean, it's not really clean. I need to be using an algicide. So the question is, are we targeting those? By targeting, you probably either mean doing EDDM or some sort of boots on the ground marketing. I don't do a lot of that to begin with, so I don't know that I target it, but yeah, putting signs outside the neighborhood, that's never a bad idea.
Yep.
No. Signs everywhere. Signs everywhere.
Signs everywhere. They signs. Don't
I think a lot of us are in different areas. I think that if you're at a place, I got a couple guys that I talk to out west, Arizona, this and that, and they're not getting organics on the house like we get here in New England or in Ohio. They're just dusty, dirty houses. And I know a guy, he lives in Arizona, and he just washes with Apple Wash. Doesn't use any SH, just Apple Wash.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So they're just getting down cobwebs and dirt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's like this. He says there is no mildew and algae because they're in a dry climate, I guess,
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That being said, it seems like it would be a hard sell.
Yeah, I don't think they have the volume that we have. I think that New England is turning into the Pacific Northwest with the weather that we're having. We've had such long, wet seasons. I'm finding that, I'm doing houses every single year, where when I first started, it was like every other year.
Sure.
I'm getting back out on some of these houses. I'm like, I can't believe how dirty it is again already. But we're having like an 11-month growing season where we used to have 9.
I concur. My wife and I were just driving up the road just recently, and to a fairly new neighborhood. And as we're going up the hill, I can see the tops of these homes already have algae growing on the north side of these homes. I'm like, yes, I knew that would happen. Yeah. And these homes are only a few years old, already seeing mildew and algae growth. So that's good.
Yeah. Money grows on houses.
We want those wet winters, not so cold, but wet winters. Those are good for our business.
Yes.
Oh goodness. I bet those guys though in that that Western territory, I bet they do a lot of window cleaning.
Yeah. See, we were just talking about like services that you don't want to do, right?
Yeah.
That's like my number one service that I don't want to do is window cleaning. I don't know where my mind block is with it. I think that I've done a couple big window cleaning projects, like the big town hall in Putnam that I got a couple years ago. I've done that like 2 years in a row now. I went out and bought my water fed pole system to do it, and it's just it breaks me physically with that pole over my head. Like my shoulders are smoked for days. I
Yep.
think window cleaning I could do if I was like, one house a day as an add-on. Actually have some window cleaning coming up next week, but I don't sell it. I don't advertise it. I try to I try to work around it every time it comes up. I'm like, oh, the windows usually come pretty clean just with power
Yeah.
washing. Like, let's see how they look after. And if you really need me to brush them, like I'll do it. But I managed to sell my way around it. I think that window cleaning as a service, like if I was going to offer it as a service, I would try to be doing like storefront, strip mall, kind of on the ground, step ladder, squeegee, you
One
know,
stories.
one story type window cleaning. I think like doing it on houses the way we do, it's not something I want to do.
I only reserve that for I would say the highest end of my high end customers.
Right.
I mean, I probably do a handful a year. And I
Yeah.
don't want nobody to know that I do them. And it's
Right.
usually on those really nice houses. There's like, well, what about the windows? And then I'm like, yeah, we can do the windows. But
Right.
like,
But
I'm
then
not
you're
asking everybody.
you're packaging it in though with other services, right? Like you're
Yeah,
doing right multiple services and Windows the add-on for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
A-
it's like
After
if I can go on and add a window, a window cleaning job, and you're talking about some houses. I think the last one I did had like 110 windows. You're talking
Yeah.
like $1,000 add-on.
Right. Right. Yeah. Exactly. Right. That's a lot of
So
Windows.
I mean,
Yeah. That being said, I just mounted my water fed pole on my truck this weekend, which I didn't really want to do, but I got it like temporarily permanently mounted on the back of the flatbed now, so it's a little more accessible for me for these next couple jobs I got coming up. But
yeah.
you know, yeah.
Jeremy, would you care to answer the question on the screen there for us?
Oh, I'm sorry. Not often. I've shared this with Mike. That's probably been my biggest regret purchase in a sense that they cost so dang on much money, and I don't want to promote it because I don't like doing it. I have made my money back. I won't say hand over fist, but I've made my money back on the jobs that I've done. I just hate it. I absolutely hate it. I don't use it often, and there's no way that I would come do an RODI motorhome. There's no chance.
No, me either.
Well, this next comment is my favorite comment of the night. Joe, are you ready for this? Joe is the chef and only wants to dish up the sauce.
Yeah, so I get this guy comments on my stuff calling me chef all the time. I love it. I love
I
it.
like Hurricane
Only
Harry.
slinging that hot sauce. That's it.
Uh,
Talking about window cleaning though, what I have been finding myself doing a lot of lately is cleaning people's skylights with my
Mm.
water fed pole, but not using the water fed portion of it. I just use the 30-foot pole with the brush to brush the skylight. I wet
Yeah.
it, or I get a little house wash on it, then I'll throw the brush up there, brush it, and then rinse it, and they come out beautiful. And I think that as an add-on or a secondary sales service, what I may be marketing a bit next year is solar panel cleaning. I've been getting a lot of interest for that in my area. It's pretty easy to do. You don't need a water-fed pole system to do it. You only have to spray water up there and brush it. Brushing is really the agitation is what brings that whatever grime is on that glass off. It doesn't need to dry spot free with an ROI system or anything like that. It just needs to rinse clean. I had some experience doing it through the summer. I've done a few solar panels this year, and I've been seeming to there's been like an uptick in interest. People asking me about it. People that are buying new houses that have solar panels, they want me to come out and clean everything. And I see they have solar panels. I'm like, would you like me to clean the solar panels too? They've probably never been cleaned. And
Yeah.
they get all that dust and grime on them like anything else, and it does make a difference on how good they work.
Jeremy, you care to tell us how does a water-fed pole actually work?
Yeah, and just 1 second, I will.
Absolutely.
You're speaking of the solar panel clean. Have you seen I think they're called an alpha brush from Tucker? their four
No.
solar panels, they're this big. They're way bigger than like a regular brush. They're
Right.
a little expensive, but if you're doing enough of them, you're gonna it's probably worth it. But I know a buddy of mine who cleans solar panels. They also make some sort of brush that has spinning heads on them.
Yes,
That way, it
yes, I've
actually.
seen that.
So
Agitates,
I
yeah.
I think that's a sweet add-on if you're going to get into solar panels.
Right. Yeah.
What was the question? How does a water-fed pole work?
Yeah, he says they do some mop and squeegee, but can't grasp how a water-fed pole with no
Oh.
soap actually cleans them.
Sure. Here's how it is all almost pretty much all water you're going to get is going to have different minerals and stuff of that nature in it. Depending on where you're at, depends on how hard the water is. If you use one of those TDS meters, you can test it, and theoretically you want a reading of like 8 or less, and most of the areas like where I'm at, it's like 200-300. So you're 10 foot over where you need to be. So what it does is it cycles it through. I think they're 4-stage filters is what the system is we got is, and it takes it through this filter. Then it sends it through this big canister with all this resin, and it just filters out those minerals, and it comes out, and it's pure water, no minerals. You can test it and read, your reading is going to come out 0. So you're getting pure water, and you're just brushing. So it comes out, and you're brushing with the water, and what you're doing is you're just brushing all the debris, all the gunk, dirt, whatever off. And once you get done, you go back through, and here you go, you're rinsing with water with nothing in it but just straight water, and it's going to dry straight free.
Right. So usually the spotting that is occurring on the windows when it dries, it's the mineral content that's creating the spots. So that's really how the ROI works. Is like Jeremy's saying, it's a completely pure water with there's nothing in it. So when it dries, it doesn't leave any residue behind. Yeah. Now, don't be fooled that you do on occasion still need to hand scrub windows. The water-fed pole brush isn't necessarily going to take off all the gunk that's on there. Sometimes, you still got to get up close to a window by hand and take some, very fine steel wool to take it down correctly. But once you have, windows that have been gone through by hand, maintaining them with a water-fed pole is the fastest way to do it.
Yeah. Do you use your walnut pad on your pole, Joe?
No. I use really just a boar's hairs brush. I got a boar's hair brush with like a nylon perimeter around it. I bought that Tucker pole kit. I think I paid $2,000 for it or something. Came with everything. I've not upgraded anything on it yet. I've had it for a year and a half, and it works for me every time I plug it in.
We've got quite a few questions coming in. We'll see if we can't kind of speed round some of these. David Moore asked, anyone got a MoFlo thinking about buying one? Well, our friend Smokey, if he's still in the room, Smokey, Darren, yep. Smokey just bought one back at the Huge and just hooked it up last week. He was telling me about that. So
I am thinking about getting one. My friend Todd Hendrizak in New Hampshire has one. Todd's in the same demographic as I am. We use the same vendors. He's a great guy. We've become good friends over the last couple of years. And he bought a MoFlo, and he keeps sending me videos. And this thing it's ridiculous. I'm kind of using Todd as a test pilot to see, how it goes for him, how long it lasts, how well it's going to stand up to the upstreaming conditions. But it's a serious machine that I think would definitely accelerate some wash processes. The only downfall I see with it, which us guys in New England and the rural guys have, is that it drinks too much water. You need to have some big tanks on your truck to keep up with it. It's like 11, 12, 13 gallons a minute. And we're running out of water all day long with 8-gallon per minute machines. So I'm not sure that it's necessarily going to make your wash process in everybody's case faster. You might wash a house faster, but then you're out of water and you're waiting for water on the next project. So it might not be optimal.
I have shot Leon's personal MoFlo.
Right.
And I will tell you, it's a beast.
I can't imagine. I can imagine.
It is a beast.
Yeah.
Joe, I think this one's for me and you. William says neither of you guys have websites, correct? I do not have a website.
I do not either. I don't know that I can say that you shouldn't have a website.
Right.
Because I don't have one. But when I first started my business, I was able to get the free Google My Business page, and with that, Google was also offering a free website. So I kind of had like a makeshift website, but I've never had a website that's like offers you any type of long form where you're getting a quote online or anything like that. So no website. I use the Google My Business, has the call button, and that's how you get me directly. So I feel like that works better for me. I try to approach that sales angle as a consumer. Like, how do I react as a consumer? If I have to go on a website and fill out some information, I'm not doing any of that. I want to talk to somebody right now. I want some answers right now. I push the button. If you don't answer the phone, I call the next guy. So Google My Business works for me. I believe it also works for you, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. If I could go back, I probably would, which is to say I probably should. But what the way SEO works with the website is longevity. You can ask Mike Vadan that. Mike will tell you he's got a terrible website, but because of longevity, his SEO is really, really high, even though he has a terrible website. So I'm like Joe. I would encourage people to get a website if it's within the budget, but it's not a deal breaker for me. I've been doing it long enough that I had someone call me today. I have people call me regularly, but people call me generally outside of my desired wash area and tell me that I'm ranking number one. They called me because I was number one, and I don't even have a website. And then another guy called me today or yesterday wanting to partner with me. He has a painting company, and he found me on Google. And it looks like we're going to have a good partnership. I don't know that a website's necessary, but a lot of people will tell you that it is, and I wouldn't argue that.
I think reviews are really what you need.
Yeah.
Whether it's a website or whatever it is, reviews are what get you the call.
Bayside Clean says, how can I make $1 million a day cleaning trash pads like Austin? You'll have to ask Austin that. We need to have Austin on the show, Jeremy.
Yeah, I think you guys should have Austin on the show. Austin's a riot.
Never spoke to him. Didn't get to speak to him in Nashville.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I've known Austin for about 4 or 5 years now. We connected very early on. He was very new, and we connected on a few things. And he's really grown a tremendous business. The kid's got a lot of hustle in him.
Yep.
He's in a hot market too. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's in a good place. Yeah, he's in a high dollar area, but he's a hustler. He doesn't sleep on it.
Right. Yeah. No shade. Let's see, as I'm kind of scrolling through here, let's see if we've got some more questions. Maybe someone has a question just for Joe. We've got him on the channel. Normally, let's see, it's nearly 10 o'clock. Joe has been asleep for an hour and a half, typically by now. So
this is actually previously recorded.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah, I'm up usually 6 a.m, getting my rig ready. It's a long day. You guys know, it's like you're always doing something washing related. I know a lot of you guys prep your rig the night before. I like to prep myself in the morning. When I am done the work day, I basically fall out of my truck and crawl into the house.
Yeah.
And there's no more for me that in that manner anyway. It's like, we're fielding our calls and doing our estimates during the evening hours, and you're playing with YouTube and you're trying to answer questions, and
I don't know if this is a real question or not, but we may have a tendency just to throw out terms that people may not necessarily know. Michael, MoFlow is a upstreaming technique. So with the MoFlow, the solution, the SH, is actually flowing through the pump, and you can dial it up as hot as you want it. And it's on steroids. So what is it, 11 gallons a minute? something like that.
16.
Yeah,
I
something
thought.
like that. So the MoFlow is really, it's really a gas powered 12-volt system. It's
There you
just
go.
like it's just like a P40, you know, except that it's pulling through a pressure washing pump. Okay, so the pump is the reason you could do this today. I know a couple guys, old school guys, that were upstreaming. Now, you guys know what downstreaming is. You know, you're pulling chemical after the pump. Upstreaming is pulling chemical through the pump. Okay,
Right.
that's all it is. So the term upstreaming just means you're pulling, you know, chemical through a pump. I knew a guy that used to take a 275-gallon tote and he would fill it up with water and put, you know, 20 gallons of shock in there, and he would make himself 275 gallons of 1% mix, right? A batch mix. He'd make a 275-gallon batch and he would upstream that through his $300 pressure washer because he didn't care, because it was a $300 pressure washer. You're going to ruin the pump doing that, but who cares, right? So the MoFlow has a stainless steel pump. So theoretically, the pump should not get ruined by upstreaming or pulling chemical through it. And that's why I'm saying I'm kind of letting Todd run his for a little while and see, you know, how these things are going to perform in the field. But upstreaming is just, you know, pulling through the pump, and that's the MoFlow is doing this on steroids.
Clean Max exterior power washing says, I think 8 GPM is enough for residential. No one in the group would argue that. With the MoFlow, you can actually wash roofs with that. So again, you
Right.
can change the setting. And so, you know, we're talking, what is it, $6,000 right now?
It's really, yeah, I mean, it's not that expensive. I think the machine itself is $6,000. And again, I'm not sure exactly. I'm just going by like what my friend Todd has. But then you need to buy, you know, a big proportioner. If you don't have one, you want something with big valves. You're going to want a remote control system to turn the SH on and off, right? So just the machine itself is $6,000, but then there's some other bells and whistles that go along with it. I
Look
think
at it.
Excuse me. Oh, look here.
Hey, there he
Speaking
is.
of
There he
speaking
is.
of him,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm so glad I didn't talk bad about him. I mean, let me rephrase that. I'm so glad he didn't hear me talking bad about him.
Yeah. We saved that for off camera.
That's right. Good to see you. Good to see you, Austin.
Yeah, you know, the eight gallon is a sweet spot. I got to tell you, I've been doing a lot of washing in the last couple of months with just my 5.5. I did 4 houses today. I didn't turn the 8-gallon key one time. I used that 5.5 all day today, and you know,
And you're doing that to save water, correct?
I'm doing that just because I don't know why I do things, Mike. I'm really not sure. You know, one of the reasons I do it is that it's cold, right? And I have a 1.8 injector set up on my 5.5, and it pulls hotter than my 8-gallon does. So I use it primarily. I've been using it primarily because the houses I've had for the last couple of weeks have been so filthy. I don't know. It seems like they saved all the really nasty ones for the end of the year here, and I've been washing filthy houses in the cold. So I want to throw a little hotter sauce. I use the 5.5, and you know, if you're using a Flow Pro, you know, you're not rinsing through the injector. My 5-gallon rinses at 6 gallons a minute, and it, you know, it's fabulous. It's all you need. It's all you need for residential. 8-gallon, you can do a little bit better job with 8-gallon. I don't think you're really saving a lot of time, maybe a couple minutes per job, but I think that it does. You know, it's easier. You can rinse easier. You don't have to wave your arms around as much.
With the 8.
With the 8, yeah.
Now, keep in mind, if you're going to also be cleaning concrete,
Yes.
then you're going to struggle with the 5.
Right. Yeah. If you need rinsing flow, the 8-gallon's the way to go.
Darren is also Smokey. This is the Smokey that we were speaking of. That's his nickname. He tells us that it's awesome. He's speaking of the MoFlow. He said, I love mine and get it so much done faster. I was with Smokey when he bought that, and he looked like kid on Christmas morning. But he's just now getting it hooked up. So
yeah, my friend Todd in New Hampshire says the same thing. He's in love with it right now. He says it's just effortless. Washing is fun again. He's having a great time. You know, washing is all about the rinse, as you know. So, you know, if you're rinsing with 11, 12 gallons a minute, how fast is that?
Right.
You know, it must be amazing.
I'm gonna tell you though, I have washed, and Mike, you probably can attest too. downstreaming with our 10 gallons.
did
I
it
feel
today.
like, yeah, I mean, I do it in a pinch when something's going wrong and I have to switch over. But I did it a couple times last year just to do it, and I felt like it was too much. That was just me. I just felt like it. I felt like I was pushing too much water, like under the vinyl, causing run out, run off.
Mhm.
It just
Mhm.
felt. I was like, this is just too much.
So yesterday, Jeremy, I was washing a 2-story home, a big home. I
Yeah.
just got there. I hadn't been washing maybe 5 minutes, and my 8 GPM machine went down. I didn't really diagnose it, but I think it's just a fuel filter or a fuel pump. Nonetheless, I
Yeah.
switched over to my 10 GPM machine, and that there speaks to redundancy on top of redundancy. You really need redundancy to operate efficiently. And so I switched over to the 10 GPM, and I just throttled it at about 3/4 of the way up, and it
Yep.
washes just like an 8 GPM machine.
Uh,
So if you're
that's what I come
considering,
to figure out as well.
yeah, if you're considering a 10 GPM machine, but you're afraid that you're just pushing too much water, just throttle it down a little bit, and it flows just like an 8 GPM machine.
Yep.
And that's what I washed that fence with today. At 450 feet of fence, I washed it with the 10 GPM machine, downstreamed it, and had no problems whatsoever.
That's the fence that you were telling me that you absolutely loved cleaning today, right?
I really don't want to talk about it. I think we're moving on to another question. I hate fences. Okay. Here we go. Super quick here. We'll just throw this up here just for information's sake. Smokey says he paid $6,500 for it. Did a house, roof siding, deck, pre-treated to concrete, done in an hour. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a moneymaker.
Well, it's definitely a moneymaker when you're getting on these bigger, like if you're getting hotels or colleges or large warehouses. Like, I mean, flow is the name of the game, and being able to do it fast, efficient.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yep, no doubt, no
Yeah,
doubt.
it sounds like Darren's well established and has been washing for a minute, right? So the only thing I would say with these bigger machines is that you need to have the work to support the machine.
Ooh,
You know,
well
don't
said.
don't let the 8 gallon don't feel like you need an 8 gallon for your first machine. You know what I mean? Unless you're doing 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 houses a day, you can get it done with a 5.5. You can get it done with a 4 gallon.
Yeah.
You know.
My first year was 3.5. Then
Yeah.
midway, I went to a 6.5.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I felt like the 6.5 is I don't want to say just as quick, but not far off with house washing. It was just
Right.
the concrete, but
Yeah.
it's more than efficient. Like you said, the 5.5. I feel like a 5.5 is like a sweet spot to
I do
start.
too. Yeah, it is 5.5 is a good place. Absolutely.
Steve jumps on from time to time. Let's take just a moment and answer this question. He says, "What pump would you suggest for 60,000 square foot roofs?" Well, definitely not a 12 volt.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak to that. I don't have no experience washing anything that big. I would say you're gonna want a AR-45 or something. You're gonna kill it. A 12 volt. I don't know. The X6 could probably handle it though.
Well, the X6 could handle it, but I think that the reason that we would want to go with a gas powered is because 60,000 square feet is definitely going to run a battery dry. So
Yeah.
And the
AR-45 or even that MoFlow, go ahead and pay for it in your first job.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
All right. Very
Yeah,
nice.
I think the man to answer that question would be Sean Hoderman, and I know that Sean runs P40s.
Oh,
I've
great.
seen some of those roofs he does, so I think that'd be a fair assessment.
Yeah, Sean only runs P40s as far as I know.
Yep.
Barry says Mike's best deal in his trailer. He's speaking there to the 10 GPM machine. He sold that to me, and it has absolutely been the best thing that one of the best investments on my rig.
Mike,
Yeah.
do you have your AR-45 running currently?
I do not.
You do not? No.
I just got to do it. I certainly have the off season to put it on the rig.
I'm
Yeah.
excited to know. I want to be on the phone with you when you take that pump off that engine.
Oh God. Yeah.
So Mike's getting ready to get into finagle. it's apparently really hard, Joe, to take the gearbox off of the engine shaft. I attempted to do this.
on the AR-45.
Mhm.
Yeah, or
Okay.
even a P40. I don't know what
Yeah.
the reason is on it. I was having some issues, and I got mad. And I was going to take my P40 off and swap it for an AR-45. I could not get the gearbox off the shaft. I mean,
Yeah.
I had all this stuff, and then I finally just got mad and bought a whole nother engine.
Yeah.
So I have talked to guys who have bent the shaft trying to get it off, and have also taken Paul Robinson is one of them. It took Paul, I think, roughly a couple hours to get his off with
Oh,
wedges and back and forth. It's an ordeal.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'm excited for when Mike does this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think sometimes you're going to need to just buy another machine.
Well,
Just
had I,
chalk it up and say, how many hours am I going to spend?
that's right.
you
Had
know,
I
instead-
known, just to show you my true friend Jeremy Messer, Bishop Big Ticket.
Say that
Right.
fast. Say it fast.
He waited until I bought a new GX200 for my AR-45, and then said, "Oh, can't wait to see you have to take that." I'm like, "Why? What's the big deal?" He said, "Oh, it's tragic." I'm like, "Why didn't you tell me that?
Right.
I just
right.
bought a whole new setup."
Yeah.
I
So-
mean, you can still call Jonathan and get a pump and a gearbox. I mean,
I could
sure
do that. I
give
could
you
do
a
that.
deal. They give you a deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is fun.
With friends like you, who needs an enema? Oh, we are now over the top of the hour. We'll take a few more questions here, and then we're going to hit the eject button. We got long days tomorrow.
Yes.
See what we got. Man, we just got a bunch of people in here tonight. Certainly glad to see the large turnout this evening.
I'm
Really appreciate everyone hanging
I'm
out
gonna
with
throw
us.
this out real quick. I've had a couple people. We mentioned about 3 weeks ago, about having that Gatlinburg mastermind, and we've had a couple people reach out and ask. And if you guys are still on here, that is still a plan to have a meet and greet, get together. I hate saying meet and greet, but kind of a mastermind. Let's get together. Let's talk business. Let's bounce things off of each other. Let's see how we can help each other out. So that is still in the works, in the plans. I don't have any really good details, but what I'm going to tell you and what you can expect is a Google form will be created, and I will have it on the Wash Pros Facebook group tomorrow. And it's just going to be kind of a questionnaire. You can put your name on it. Let us know if you're interested. That way we can kind of have a head count. And then hopefully within the next 2 weeks, we can kind of finalize that ideal and come back, say the first, second week of November, and see what we can really get planned.
Yes, if
also-
anybody who's just, I was going to say,
say-
anybody who's jumping on here and hearing this for the first time, it looks like a pressure washing retreat, probably in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, Gatlinburg area, and it's not a money grab. So neither myself nor Jeremy will be making any money of this. Everyone will have the same fee, minus your food and where you want to eat. But basically, just a bunch of guys and gals getting together and for a long weekend, discussing pressure washing, hanging out. It's not a conference. There are no classes. It's just a mastermind. Guys getting together and talking shop. Yeah,
it's what it is. We can get together. Like I said, get together. We'll have dinner. We'll talk shop. If you want to go skiing or snow tubing or whatever, an outing, we can get that planned. But I'll have that up tomorrow on the Wash Pros Facebook group. And also, if you're on my YouTube channel, and I'll even send the link to Mike, we'll put a post. We'll do a YouTube post with that link, so you can click that link and get to it.
Timmy, I don't remember what your original question was. I apologize. We've had so many come through tonight. If we missed that, we certainly do offer an apology. Either of you guys remember seeing this one? Any advice on my original question? Just not sure what it is. If you want to let us know what that was. We'll do our best before we jump off of here and try to answer that for you.
Joe, you ever come down to Gatlinburg, Tennessee?
No, I have never been. No, I've been to Tennessee maybe 25 years ago when I was in a printing business. I went down there. Memphis, I was down in that area for a little while. But no, never been down there.
You was on the wrong side of Tennessee.
Yeah. I wouldn't know.
Here's a great question. Joe, with your coaching, how deep are you willing to go with your own success to help others move forward in business? I'm not exactly sure what deep means.
I mean, I'm willing to, talk about anything. I've talked, I think we had a dozen calls last week. I'm going to share everything on the personal calls to help you along, advise you. I'm not afraid to share how much money we've made, what we charge, what my fees are, what the cost of doing business are. That's what it's all about. Mike, you're doing that now too. You want to know the inside? I can't give that away. It's not gonna. I've 4.5, 5 years of free content we've put out at this point. And if you want to delve deeply into what the realities are and have, intimate conversations about business, we'll do that.
Yeah, I took 2 calls today and
Awesome.
held nothing back. Those who had questions, I answered the questions. As we know on my channel, and I know Joe doesn't talk much about money, I don't talk my personal finances at all. And that's for a couple of reasons, very, very quickly, mainly because that's what a lot of channels, very good channels, are geared towards. And I'm just wanting to do something different. Another reason I don't necessarily talk numbers is because the numbers are different in different wash locations. And generally they're going to be roughly the same, but that wouldn't be fair for me to tell you my price and then you go and charge that and it's just not enough, or tell you my price and you go and charge that and can't get work because it's too much. So, but personally, when I'm talking, if someone's willing to go on and schedule a call with me, then we don't hold anything back.
Right.
Yeah, let's say here. His original question was XJet versus downstreaming. I can't answer it because I've never XJetted.
Yeah, I can answer that. So my first season in business, the XJet saved my life. Had I not discovered the XJet within about the first month of my business, I would have been out of business. I was trying to, wash with a regular Home Depot machine, putting the chemical in the tank, no idea what I was doing. A painter friend of mine said, you need to Google the XJet. And again, changed my life. XJet versus downstreaming. Downstreaming is the way. It's faster in every aspect. The XJet is still a fantastic tool. If you don't have some other method like a 12 volt and you need to pull a little bit hotter sauce than you're going to get with a downstreamer, you can pull that XJet. Super versatile. But on the daily washing, downstreaming will run circles around XJetting.
Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. We are at an hour and 15. We're going to pull the plug on this one unless okay, we've got another question here. We can take time for this.
Here you go. Here you go. I told you it's going to be a fight.
Oh, great. I wish we hadn't even put that on the screen.
Yeah, you're in for something this winter.
Yeah. See, now, You know what? I'm up for a challenge. So now forget about it. I'm not buying a new one. I am going to get this thing off there. I'll get my grandkids on it if I have to.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's do this. Let's kind of bring this to a close for the night. We are going to have a closing prayer as always. And then let's see, next, I may not be here, guys, next week. My daughter is scheduled to go into delivery this, let's see.
I'm going to be in Florida anyways.
Okay, we may not have next week. I'm not exactly sure what that looks like. I have to scratch my head on that a little bit, but nonetheless, all right, guys, are we ready? Hats off, and we shall pray. Would you pray with me? Father, we pray in the name of Jesus, and thank you for a wonderful night that we've had just talking shop. laughing a lot with our friend Jeremy and Joe and so many others in the room. This is one of the larger nights that we've had in a long time, and we just count it a great blessing that we can fellowship with one another and encourage one another. We've been called a G-rated show, and if that means God, then we'll claim that it's a God-rated show. Father, I pray that you would bless every washer, not only financially, but with safety, and in particular, those in Florida, North Carolina, Tennessee, those who've been most affected by the recent storms. We lift them up tonight as well. We know some are on the rebound, others still are not working, and their livelihood depends upon it. So we're grateful for what we have, and we give you glory for it. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. All right, guys, thank you so much.
Amen. All
Good
right,
to have
guys.
Joe tonight.
Thanks for having me on, guys. We'll catch you guys
Absolutely.
later. Have a great week.
Thanks,
Thanks,
you.
guys. See you.
Later.
Bye-bye.